Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Today a small intro instead of the 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes intro. Today we went with 30 seconds because we have no time to lose. We have a team to build today and I'm not alone. We have a fantastic guest. It's not the first time that he's on the channel. Ciao Antonio, ciao Laudantes.
Ciao guys, also a pleasure to be here again and to talk with you.
And this time live, because last time we recorded the video, this time it's live. I'm happy
Yes,
that you're here. What do you prefer me to call you, Antonio or Laudantes? Because Laudantes is the nickname that you are using on Twitter, of
of
course.
course. You can find me on X, Twitter, how it's called right now. It's no problem, but you can call me Antonio since you are my friend.
Antonio. Let's go with Antonio. Guys, can we say hello to Antonio in the chat? That would be fantastic. I just tell you what we will do today in the meanwhile. So let me share my screen. Today is a special one. So here you see an empty team. I will explain you everything step by step that together with Antonio, we will try to fill. There are some rules, of course. So Serie A Fantasy, that's what we are playing today. We will build a team. If you want to join us, you have serieafantasy.com. You enter. The link, of course, if you don't want to start typing on browser, is into the description of the video. So you go under the description and you go with the link, and you have also the access code of my private league. Okay, it's super easy to do. It is totally for free. You can win a lot of prizes also by participating. There are weekly prizes in the general league. And then, of course, you also have the final prize. I believe there were some PlayStations and so on. So, really nice things to win. I already participated last year. It was a test to understand how to do it. And today we will try to do it seriously. We'll try to win. And Antonio will give me all the possible tips, the goalkeeper, the defenders, and so on and so on. Before starting, Antonio, give me 1 minute because I already announced it on Twitter. I announced it in the Telegram group, but I'm super happy to share with you a fantastic news. Because if Juventus Football Club, the real Juventus Football Club, this Mercato was not really able to go with a big name, with a big transfer name, on the channel, we closed the deal because it's a done deal, or here we go, if you, or whatever you want to call it, because Romeo Agresti will be part of this channel once a week live every single Thursday, not tomorrow, but from the next one, from next week, every single Thursday live with Romeo Agresti in English. So pay attention because I believe that we sealed a fantastic deal. Calcio Mercato on fire. Hey, Laudantes, better than Romeo Agresti on the channel in English? I don't know, huh?
No, there is not anyone. Romeo is the absolute top player of Juventus information, and in general in Italy is amongst the top five in general sense. So I think that Romeo is a fabulous signing, also because Mercato needs something if players don't arrive, and Romeo is that something, no?
Indeed. Bianconeri on top 22 is asking, how are you, Antonio?
I'm fine. I'm getting ready for the fantasy Serie A team, and I have plenty of ideas that I want to share with you.
I also have my idea, so you will have to try to convince me. So, ragazzi, how do? You go. I will share the page immediately. If you want to participate, you go on serieafantasy.com. Before joining the league, you have to create your team. A lot of people already created their team. You have free transfers until 1 hour, if I'm not wrong, 1 hour before kickoff of Serie A. So pay attention that you do all the free transfer that you want. You have 100 million euro budget to create your team. You can find any single player that is present in Serie A on the left. You can select your team if you want to be faster, and the role goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, forward. From the moment that your team has been set, you will win points with the actual life. So when the game will be played, you win points if they score goals, if they conceded a goal for a goalkeeper, if they have a yellow card. So there are a lot of statistics, not only the goals and the assists, but a lot more statistics for winning some points. And then every single week, you have the right to do some transfers. I have to check, but normally you can do between 1 and 2 free transfers per week. The other one you can do, and you can do more transfer, but then you will have deduction points because, ragazzi, it is what it is. So that's how we play. I tell you a secret, Antonio. I played Serie A Fantasy League since long time, and only my only rule is I have no players of Inter. I never took any player of Inter. You know why? Because when they play, I don't want to be happy because I don't know, Di Marco made an assist and that gives me point in the league. So I prefer not. But some people told me, attenzione, when you are playing Serie A, you can't put your emotion in it. What is your take on certain teams, or what should I do, Antonio?
No, I think you should invest on some Inter players since also Simone Inzaghi's football tends to be very offensive, and not every time Inter scores a lot of goals they win. So maybe there can be a double joy sometimes. Sometimes you don't even get to to have other emotions. But I think that especially this year, I don't see many big players. Inter has some. So let's see.
Eh, indeed. I'm laughing because the comment of style the deduction point is a scary combination of. We all remember last year we played quite well. No, we didn't play well, but we did some points and then we had a -10 deduction, -15, -10. So it's true that I have to pay attention. Beppe, the Giuntoli of YouTube, grande deal, fantastic that Romeo will join. I'm happy for you guys. I'm really happy for the English speaking community, seriously. So let's start. Mario, he can't wait. He said we have to start. We have to start. Um, okay, what do we go for? Ragazzi in the chat, help us to start. Do we go with a hipster, youngster team, with kind of unknown players? Do we go with a physical, experienced team, a bit a la Max Allegri? Do we go with the mix? What is the thing that you prefer to do? What kind of team should we go for? I really want to know from the people. Kvara Osimhen is a must. Danis. Last year they were in my team. Huh? To help us, I also show you this one. No, here. I show you this one. I already prepared all the teams of Serie A with the latest. Let me go here. Attenzione. Okay. With all the latest signings that they have and so on and so on, the players that they sold. So you have every single team, and the update has been set yesterday. So this can also help us if we have short in memory and so on. What role do we start with, Antonio? Goalkeeper? You want?
Yes, I was thinking there is no way we can change the formation, right? It's going
Yes.
to be
No, this one here is not the final formation that you will set. From the moment that you have all your players, then when you did your transfers, then you can put a 3-4-3 and you can do
okay.
whatever you want. But here you need 5 defenders, 5 midfielders, 3 strikers, and 2 goalkeepers. This you can't change. Then the formation you can change later.
Okay, very interesting also for the people in the chat that were asking. So let's start from the back.
Eh, Goalkeeper. My first idea, I tell you my idea, then you tell me if you like or not. But it's expensive already immediately. I wanted Provedel from Lazio.
Okay, recent news told us that Lloris is close to Lazio. So I was considering that might be a risk on the long term, also for the expense that Provedel has since he made a big season last year. He was probably the best goalkeeper in the whole league. So let's see also all the prices. But if you like him, go for it.
6 is the euro. So it's the goalkeepers, they go from 4 to 6. It's an expensive goalkeeper. Of course, you start immediately with a 6. Did you have another idea also in the chat and help us? And not only Antonio, of course, help us. You see, just Yokai also has Provedel. That was my first, because they don't concede a lot of goals also, Lazio.
Yes, and it's getting better by the day. Also
Eh,
because Lazio signs Pellegrini from Juventus and has plenty of options in defense.
Last year I had Rui Patrizio because Roma is playing a bit more defensive style, but I was a bit disappointed in the second part of the season.
It's bittersweet because he
Eh,
sometimes concedes a lot. Sometimes he looks like to be the best goalkeeper ever since he gets a clean sheet. But Patrizio can be very dangerous sometimes.
Magic Might is a really, really great choice, but you know what's my fear? You can have only 2 players per team. I prefer to have field players from Milan.
Yes. Also, we have to consider that we might need a player from that team up front because Lazio is a very strong offensive force, and I would like to spend my Lazio name on the midfield and attack if I can.
So we put Provedel now, then we can change later if we have a problem. Okay, let's put Provedel as first goalkeeper. Which are the defenders that you recommend me? I have already 1 or 2 names in mind.
Okay. Regarding the price, I don't really know how much they cost, but I think we can invest in some little teams so we can have bigger teams on midfield and attack. I think that Stefan Posch is for sure one of the names because he was one of the top goal scorers in the defense with 6 goals and I think 2 assists. So this might be a big name. And if we, I don't know how much Posch costs, so let's see
Let me
what's the
check.
price.
Defenders. I can't check by name. Okay, the team Posh. I'm checking. Help me, Antonio.
Yes, it's in Bologna. I don't
Bologna.
know. Okay, so let's check.
Here we go. Bologna. Here 5.
Okay, it's a right price, fair price for Posh. If we want to get a bit hipster, we can go for Beukema instead of Posh, former Dutch player from AZ.
Beukema. Beukema.
Beukema, yes. I'm
Great.
not a native, so you have to correct me on these pronunciations. We can
No,
see
but-
in Bologna if you can show us the formation.
yes. Beukema. I
Yes.
was watching him this morning. Indeed. Let's try.
Yes.
Also with Thiago Motta, that is playing also beautiful football. I ranked him today quite high in my idea of ranking Serie A. So okay, Posh and Beukema to start with.
Yes, I think that if Beukema has the same price as Posh, I would keep only Posh, but we can also go for the couple. So it's
2 players of Bologna is huge. Huh? They are and they are starting their first day against Milan.
no. I would go for a Posh.
Let's keep Posh. I give you my idea. Dragujin.
Whoa, nice name. I think that on the midfield we could get the help from some Genoa players that are very interesting. But what's the Genoa opposite side on the first match?
Good question. Genoa. I will just take like Fiorentina.
It's Fiorentina, so it's going to be an open match, I think.
Eh,
And the one I like the most from Genoa, I don't know if it's the same price, is Martin, which is a defender that plays in the 5 midfield system. I don't know how.
4.6 the price.
Okay, where Dragusin is rated, how much?
Draguzin 4.6 equal.
Okay, I would go for Martin, but if you like Dragusin because you want to make a former Juventus team, it
Uh,
might be cool. It might be cool.
on the other side, I loved your reasoning, of course, of thinking about defenders that are scoring a lot. And in the defenders, we have Teo Hernandez, we have Carlos Augusto. People in the chat, they are saying, Beppe, go for Parisi. I don't know if Parisi is a player that is scoring and assisting a lot.
Parisi is a good offensive player, but I think the major problem on the long run is that he's going to get his spot with Cristiano Biraghi, which is
Eh,
the captain of Fiorentina. They play the same position as left back, even though he was also observed by Juventus. I think that Fabiano Parisi might be a bit dodgy. So it's better to go for pure starters, I think, but he's a good player.
I agree with you. Casale from Lazio, is that a good option?
I mean, he's good. With Romagnoli, he forms a great partnership, I think. Lazio left back didn't express a lot. So maybe if you want to go for someone, you can go for Romagnoli or Casale. I would go for the one that you pay less because you can make a better strategy up front. But
on
also
the other side, Antonio, if you have the possibility to have from Lazio some players like, if we are going here on the top with the midfielders from Lazio, I will just give you a bit of names. You have Zaccagni, that last season was really on fire, for example.
yes.
Zaccagni is a player that I think it's not bad for he's really expensive. Huh? So Zaccagni is a player to keep in mind. If we already have the goalkeeper, so I would not go with the defense of Lazio.
Okay, so let's go for another defense that tends to score.
One that is scoring. I want a lot of goals. Carlos Augusto, no.
No, Carlos Augusto, I think it's a bit premature because we don't know if he's going to play instead of Di Marco. It's going to always be a battle. If you want to make Beppe uncomfortable from Inter, I have a name.
Bastoni.
And that name is Alessandro Bastoni.
I will ask the chat because I never in all my life took a player from Inter. Should I sign Inter players? Yes, no. Wait, huh? Yes. Fantasy is fantasy. No. No, Beppe. So that's the vote. You have yes or no, ragazzi. The first, if we reach 50 votes, then I stop the poll. So yes or no. Fantasy is fantasy or no, Beppe. Don't choose any Inter player. So the time that they are voting and they arrive at 50, we continue without Inter players. But we keep Bastoni in mind.
Okay, I'm waiting for the poll.
No, we can continue meanwhile because we still need four more defenders, so we have time. Huh?
Okay.
Ooh, attenzione because they are there. Huh? They are there. Attenzione. We miss. They said no. 50 votes. They said with 57%, no Beppe, no Inter player.
Okay. So this is for the defense. I don't think it's general.
No, it's for the defense. It's for the defense.
Okay, so let's go for. I think
Theo?
one shot. Yes, Theo Hernandez is a big name, and I think that is the only defender I would pick from Milan right now, because they don't prove to be a big defensive side recently, but Theo is going to be explosive. So Theo
7.
Is big price.
Cost a lot, but Theo is a must-have, I believe.
There is no better than Theo.
I agree. If I'm going to La Gazzetta and I'm looking, from Atalanta, the defenders are not scoring that much. Huh? Kolasinac, not sure. Scalvini, good defender, but I'm not sure if he's scoring a lot. Maybe Toloi, but for Atalanta, I had other people in mind. Posh, you told me, a good one.
Yes.
From Cagliari, not sure. Empoli, Ismaili, Luperto, Pezzella, Parisi, we said no. I took Dodo last year, but I was really disappointed in Dodo.
I think it's going to be better this year because also Italiano was making him learn the Odriozola job, because Odriozola was crucial and Dodo had to adapt to Serie A. I think he closed on a high note. I don't know if he's going to be crucial for Fiorentina, but it's going to be an A. Could be.
Luca Pellegrini, I would not go for him from Lazio neither. Baschirotto doesn't score a lot. Teo Hernandez we already took. From Napoli, Di Lorenzo could be an option.
Di Lorenzo is the captain, and also between Di Lorenzo and Rachmani. I also rate Rachmani a lot.
Let's see
Rachmani
who
is strong in on the loose ball.
Who is cheaper? Rachmani 5.6, Di Lorenzo 7.4.
Absolutely go for Rachmani, in my opinion.
What do you think about the new Nathan?
Nathan can be a cool player. I reviewed him on Underrated Scout. I think that Napoli has some kind of players in defense that can play before Nathan, because he's going to adapt also to the Serie A, and maybe he's not going to play a lot in the beginnings. Also, if he makes some mistakes, he's on the spotlight. So I would go for Rachmani and maybe make a bet on one other squad to choose my defender from.
Yeah.
One is Udinese. I like Udinese defenders a lot.
Let me check the defenders from Udinese. You have Masina, Bijol, Perez as starters, but then you have
Yes.
we have to check because sometimes Zemura, Ebosele, they put them also as defenders. It depends the game. Let's see. Wait, defenders of Udinese. You have a lot, huh? You have
Yes. You have
Ebosele.
Ezibue. You have Ebosele. I think that my shout also I see it should be 4.8. Okay, so the price is fair. I love Jaka Bijol. To me,
yes,
Slovenian player. He's very good when going for the headers.
yes.
And I see in chat some Doig fans from Verona, but I don't know if the system is going to benefit him, because he was playing kind of in the 5 midfield, and now he's in the back defense, back 4. So pay attention to this detail. And also you are highlighting. And I think that we want to spend the Juventus name for the better positions, So let's see.
Here we have already 4 defenders. We missed one. Let me check just because this year I want to win the competition. Bastoni 5.6, Di Marco 6. Di Marco is an important one. Huh?
Di Marco is very good. I think that is among the best. I don't know if Carlos Augusto is going to benefit him in going up and down. One player that can be controversial, but we said no in defense, was Cuadrado. But I don't know if it's listed in the defense.
No, they have put him in midfield, I believe. Let me check. Okay. Midfield.
If you ask me, I would go for Carlos Augusto, because it's going to be a player that has goals and assists more than Di Marco. Di Marco is going to be a player that can maybe pop a goal sometimes, but Carlos Augusto can help with the physicality. The midfield of Inter is a bit light, and Carlos Augusto is a good fit to me. Maybe,
yeah. We park him here. Okay, midfield.
We park him.
My take is I want from Milan Chukwueze.
Okay, it's an exciting player.
There are a lot of names, huh? Luca Romero is cheap.
How much is Chukwueze?
Chukwueze,
it's a lot.
Because they paid attention to the summer friendly where he scored la tripletta. That's why they increased the price.
Yes, I think there is a lot of problematic signings in this Milan side, because they are all overrated in my opinion.
It's true.
Also, Ruben Loftus-Cheek was a name that I think doubled because he scored 3 goals in a friendly. But let's pay attention. Chukwueze can be good.
Some people told me Beppe Christensen from Roma could be a good one.
In the defense, I think.
Yeah. I'm just checking how much he will cost us. 4.4. Could be an option if we have to go decrease later.
Okay. I think if I want to decrease and I want a player that is very offensive, I would go for the opposite strategy. I would go with the one that substituted Carlos Augusto in Monza, which is Kyriakopoulos, and he's a great player. I think that he can provide an assist, a goal, and it's going to be a starter. So I think
Kyriakopoulos.
Yes,
I saw him this morning. I saw him this morning in La Gazzetta dello Sport, and they have put him Wait, and let me try to find back the team. Cancel. Here.
He's here.
Yeah, he's a starter. Huh? I don't. What do you think about Monza this year? I don't know if they can do what they did last year.
I mean, I love Palladino as a coach. He's one of my favorite upcoming coach. But the thing that they lost the quality of Rovella and Carlos Augusto also scares me. They become a scary interside for some names. So maybe it's not the best situation, and they could go for a downgrade. But one player I trust in Monza is Churria. I loved him last year because I love the way he plays. He can play with the left and right foot. He can
Yeah.
go for the cross. He can go for the goal. So Churria is a listed midfielder. But if you want a player from defend, Kiria is also a player that in Sassuolo, where Sassuolo was struggling, was also consistent. So I like the type of players of Kyriakopoulos.
I put Kyriakopoulos and Christensen as backup later for the defense if we have to decrease.
Okay, nice.
Another name, I'm in love, and I believe it will be one of the surprise of this season. And I hope it's cheap. Where is he? 4.2.
Bargain.
Raffia.
Hamza.
We remember the goal against Genoa in extra time. And last year at Pescara, he did really well.
Lovely. Great player, great dribbler. So maybe he can go into some situations where Lecce didn't have that kind of player. They lost that player, which was Udan. Udan went away from Lecce. I think now it's in France. I don't know if it's in Nizza side, but Rafia could be the new Udan. So
Yeah.
let's go for Rafia.
So on that one, we signed. Done deal. So on this one, and it's a cheap one. Huh? Maybe we can put him on the bench later. We will see for our first team. Other midfielders that we can go.
Okay, I think that we can actually go to our favorite team and try to find a player that can be a revelation. I have one name. I don't know what name you have.
It's always difficult for Juventus. I would not go. I see in the chat Rabiot. I would not go for Rabiot because I don't think he will be able to do what he did last year because the mechanism will be different, etc., etc. The trendy name I see in the chat is Wea. You know that it was not the name that I was counting on, but if we are looking at, correct me if I'm wrong, Undubious starter on the right. He starts every single game. If we see that he has that back past of a striker, he can do well. Where
I love him, and I think he's going to play if we sign another backup right midfielder, maybe also up front. So maybe can be a surprise.
7. That's
7 is a
exaggerated.
lot. 7 is a lot. How much is Rabiot? Let me check.
I believe in the 6.6 Rabiot.
I mean, Rabiot is a bargain. If Wea is 7, Rabiot can be cool.
7 is a lot, huh?
Yes. Also, I think that if I have to bet to a player that had 11 goals in the season and one that maybe is going to overperform, even if Rabiot underperform, is going to be worth more. So we have to adapt the strategy.
When I say my rule is no Inter players because I don't want to support them, Ron Rositano is saying my rule is no Juve players because I'm jinxing them. What is your secret rule when you are playing Fantacalcio, the Italian version? Do you have a rule or not? Una scaramanzia or something like that?
Okay, my rule is to always be flexible because in Fantacalcio you have to do a 6-7 hour straight auction for the players. So you have to understand also what's the price for the people, what are they risking on, what you have to make them pay more. So I tend to have a flexible strategy, but if you ask me, the Fantacalcios I had Juventus players in, I kind of always won when I had the better ones. When I had the less performing players, I tend to do less even though I think I lost only last year, sorry. I went Coppa Italia final and 5th place, but other Fantacalcios I was always in the top 3, and I had Locatelli, so I would go for upfront players. Chiesa is not midfielder, right?
No, I think they put him as a striker this year.
So for the people in the chat, sorry, but Chiesa is not going to be selectable right now. No, but I see him. I see Federico. It's in the midfield.
Oh yeah, 8.4.
Okay, so that's nice.
You
I
know
would
who
go
I
for
had in
him.
mind first before Juve player? Tell me if I'm wrong, huh?
Okay.
I want to go with a crazy. Mamma mia, but
No, but it's too expensive at the
8 is a lot, huh?
Kamada Daichi. It's the same price as Zaccagni.
It's a
Zaccagni is
lot.
an absolute top, in my opinion.
Zaccagni is for sure.
So I would go for Zaccagni. Kamada was cool, but at this price, you have to go for Zaccagni.
We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players, and we have only 46 million left.
Okay, so it's shortening.
Orsolini is a good choice.
Okay, it can be. He scored, I think, 10 or 11 goals last year. So good player. He doesn't have the cups, so he doesn't play Europa League, and he's fine. It's
7.6.
It's 0.4 less. I would go for Chiesa at that point if I have to buy Orsolini for that price.
It's true. And I tell you, my first goal scorer of Juve this season, first goal, Chiesa. He didn't score in the preseason. I go for Chiesa.
I love Federico Chiesa.
You have a first goal scorer this season prediction against Udinese?
Oh, the first one to score the goal.
If we score, of course. If we score,
I think it's going to be a header. Like just looking at the rough data, we tend to score a lot on headers, and I don't know if it's going to be Rabiot. Maybe it's going to be Danilo scoring a header instead of Bremer. It's going to be a statement at that moment. So I think one between Danilo and Gatti. Bremer also is really good, but I think that that's going to be a surprise.
So the surprise name for Antonio, I go for Federico Chiesa, the safe choice. Even if you really want to have safe, then you go for Vlahovic. So in the beginning of the season, Dusan Vlahovic ha il piede caldo. People are saying Rugani with the double, the brace of today. Rugani on fire, Daniele. Thomas Alexandro provided the first assist last season. It's true. I believe he will be starter tomorrow. Sunday, sorry. But that's another story. Yeah. He will. Okay. We will continue with midfielder later. Forwarders, the strikers.
Yes.
And here I believe you can't not choose Osimhen, no?
He's the absolute top. You have to go for the machine, the Napoli machine.
You're obliged. Where is he?
I'm also from the parts of Napoli myself. I live here, so I know what Osimhen is.
Where is he? Okay, here.
Yeah.
12. But this is an investment that you make.
This is a bargain to me. He should be 36. He's a great player.
Retegui
is a must to me. If you ask me, Retegui is one of the players I look forward to see in Serie A, because he's a monster to me in the area.
I had another crazy name. But it's a player that I personally don't really like, but I believe he will do well. Scamacca.
Cool player. I think
if you have three players, Osimhen, Retegui, Scamacca, you can have a lot of points, no?
Yes, it's a bit dodgy with Gasperini because he tends to make many rotations. So I would go for a player in attack. But since you have Osimhen and Retegui, which are the absolute bombers for their team, I think you can have Scamacca as a wild card. and also for his price, he's going to be pretty central, and you pay him like a midfielder. So Scamacca is cool.
Is there someone that you want to add? You can't add, but if you say, okay, these are good, but if you want my tip, is there a striker that you say, a cheaper striker, a name that can probably surprise us?
I think that is going to be in Balanzola from Fiorentina.
I have this name. Tell me. I wanted this name. Beltran.
I tend to follow a bit of Argentinian football, and Fran Beltran is a very light attacker. I don't know if Italiano is going to make him the false nine, as Leo Messi was time ago. Chat is going crazy for Lorenzo Luca, but I don't think his chances is high now.
I will put the poll, okay, between. So, cheap striker. We go to Scamacca. We said Beltran. You said Zola. Zola is really cheap, 6. Beltran, 7. And then Luca. Luca, I agree with Antonio. If you choose for Luca, guys, I will not choose it. I already tell you. So, but I put it because it's a democracy. But then I go with dictatorship and I will not choose it. So it depends for you. Okay, let's see what they will say for a cheap striker. At the moment, we still have 13.2 million for a goalkeeper and a midfielder. Oh, there is another player that I'm really curious about, Antonio, and it is Infantino, but he will not play a lot. But Infantino, Fiorentina, from Rosario Central.
Fiorentina is making wonders with Burdisso. Burdisso is actually a monster on the market, on the South American market. So let's see. I look forward also.
At the moment, they are voting with 38% for Zola, followed by Scamacca 31%, Beltran 11, Luca 19. Beltran, ragazzi, pay attention. Pay attention to Beltran. I wait a bit more because we are at 39 votes. I wait for at least 50 before having substantial vote. People are saying Leao. Leao is great. Leao is the best player, but it costs a lot.
How much is Leao?
10, I believe. ¿Dónde está? Leao, Milan. Leao. 11.
A point less than Osimhen.
Oh, we don't have players from Atalanta except of Scamacca. But I want a midfielder of Atalanta.
Yes, I know what midfielder you want.
Which one do you think I want?
I think you want the absolute best, which is Koop Miners.
You see, a lot of people, they say Lookman, but Koop Miners is better. No, not better, but I have more faith in Koop Miners.
Oh, Lookman is also listed midfielder.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's a bit expensive.
8.6.
I think that you can have Koop Miners be more consistent because also he's on the penalties.
Yes.
So if you need a specific goal, you know that if a player falls in the area, there is Lookman that is going to Koop Miners, that is going to take the penalty. Sometimes also Lookman though.
People are saying Loriente. Loriente is a good name in the midfield.
He's also listed midfielder.
I don't know. Let me check. I think yes. Yeah, 7.
Very cool. I think it's worth more than Chukwueze, if you ask me.
But you trust Sassuolo this year? I'm scared about Sassuolo this year. I think it will be one of the flop this season, Sassuolo.
Oh,
no?
I think that Sassuolo changed one of the parts of the squad that I didn't like the most, which is defense. I think Sassuolo starts with another spirit, and Loriente this year is going to be pretty central. If Berardi maybe departs, I don't know if he goes to Juve, he goes to another side. I don't want to know right now, but also because you see, Berardi is listed midfielder.
Yeah,
Berardi is an absolute top player
true.
for fantasy
It's true.
squads. I
It's true.
think it's on the level of Osimhen, if you ask me.
It's true.
Berardi is an absolute monster.
And then you can always sell him when he's injured.
Yes. And you gain because he's expensive.
Yes.
Take a look on Berardi, guys.
Berardi 10. Loriente 7. If we go with Loriente 7, then you put out Chukwueze or Zaccagni. No, Zaccagni, you have to stay there.
No, Zaccagni is a must.
Yeah. Chiesa. Do you think that Chiesa will score a lot of goals?
I think there is going to be a bit and a bit. So goals and assists, because also last year he scored 5 assists. So it's going to be crucial. Also because I see that Juventus is going to make Chiesa a better player for the system.
Yeah,
I think Chiesa was a bit dysfunctional last year, but right now, the work that Allegri and Magnanelli are doing with Cambiaso going a bit inside, Chiesa on the other side, it's perfect for him. So Chiesa is going to be consistent in the time. I like him.
0-0-0 is saying Beppe, keep Chuku. Absolute crack. I told you, that's a player. He impressed me. He really impressed me. But
Chukwueze
I
didn't
don't
score
believe
a
in
lot.
Sassuolo. Tell me.
Chukwueze didn't score a lot as a player historically.
It's
so
true.
That's a thing in fantasy teams. I think one of the aspects we have to take care of is mental. We don't have to believe the bias we have in the player. Maybe Chukwueze is going to be perfect for the Italian football, but we want certainties when we confront. If Loriente is not on Chukwueze level, I respect it. But if you go for Berardi, it's safest option.
We won 1 million because people told me, Beppe, no Scamacca, but 42% said Nzola. So we listened to the people, Nzola, and we won 1 million.
Cool player, Nzola.
So you tell me, I on this one, I listen to you. Loriente instead of Chukwueze or Chukwueze?
This is tough.
We have 5 midfielders: Chukwueze, Raffia, Zaccagni, Chiesa, Koopmeiners.
I think if we want to bet on a player, we have Theo Hernandez. We want to diversify our midfield. Also, if Lauriente has a good game, I don't know what's the first game for Sassuolo. Let me check.
They are playing against
Atalanta. This is a match that I know historically to be very back and forth. So maybe Lauriente is going to score on the first, and then Atalanta is going to make a comeback. So it's going to be an intense match.
Up to you. You decide. I want you to take that decision.
Chat, what do you think?
You see? Niven is asking me, that's also an interesting question. Do the prices change during the season? Last season, except of Nunes's, but last season it didn't change. So the prices remained the same. This year, I'm not sure. I don't believe so. I will ask for confirmation, ragazzi, because we will continue to do some lives. But last season, no. Dybala, people said we didn't even speak about Dybala. He's expensive, really expensive.
Yes,
and
it's a striker. How much is Kvara?
Last year, not a lot. I give you a secret, guys. I give you a secret. Wait, this one I put me big. Last season, here on the channel, at a certain moment, I told you before everyone, I told you there is a guy, he's called Kvara, and he will be an absolute crack in Serie A. Nobody knew him, and you said Beppe. And when I chose him immediately in my team. You know where that information came from? I was reading the tweets of Antonio, and he spoke about a guy never heard in my life, Kvaratskhelia. I said, "Boo, who's that guy?" And I started to check, and he was right. And I was saying on the channel, ragazzi, Kvaratskhelia, top player revelation. So Antonio was right. Now you know the secret from where Kvaratskhelia came from. So grazie, Antonio, because you made me win a lot of points last year.
Thank you for the shout. I also have a tweet from April where Kvaratskhelia was not a Napoli player, where I said Kvaratskhelia, Samardzic, and other 23 players for the next fantasy squad. In Fantacalcio, you have to choose 25, which is a lot. You can lose too much on the variability. So I think that it's going to be a tribute for me if we select Kvara. But if Kvara is expensive, don't go for him.
12.
12.
It's
a lot.
as expensive as Osimhen.
I think Osimhen is going to be more consistent than Kvara.
Agreed.
If you ask me.
Let us keep another goalkeeper first, because we still have one goalkeeper, and then we see if we can do some changes with the million that we have. So Provedel, we said another goalkeeper. People are saying Carnesecchi, but at the moment I'm not sure if he will be a starter between him and Muso.
I think he's going to be, because Muso is going to be transferred probably. So Carnesecchi, I love him. I don't know what's your opinion about Marco, but I think also he's a bargain because he can also provide assist. You don't see every day a goalkeeper making assist, and he is actually really cool. Ochoa
is a trendy name, but the problem is that Salernitana tomorrow they can concede 4 goals with 20 saves of Ochoa, but still conceding 4 goals. That's the problem with Ochoa. That is a fantastic goalkeeper. Huh? Look, Atalanta goalkeeper, and a lot. If you have an Atalanta goalkeeper cheap and a Lazio goalkeeper, I think you are safe, no?
Yeah, of course. What I think is that we want to choose one of the goalkeepers. Milinkovic-Savic, I don't know, because Torino also is improving his defense with the system, because they bought Bellanova, which is a very fast player and very, I think, useful for some kind of defensive transitions, but it's not one of my first name. Skorupski is good.
Last year I had Skorupski as well as bench.
Cool keeper, but if you tell me an explosive goalkeeper, maybe Carnesecchi is going to make Loriente mad on Sunday. So Carnesecchi is a player that I really love.
Yeah, let's go with Carnesecchi Provedel. Okay, this is our team, and we have 2.8 million saved.
Okay.
What is the first change that you would do because you can increase somewhere? With 2.8, for example, Chiesa, and you change and you take Leao, for example. Not possible because we already have Chukwueze, but maybe taking away Chukwueze and taking Leao. No, he's 11 Leao.
No. It's not going to be possible. What I think also, if you don't like Sassuolo, but Berardi, I think was huge in the midfield.
But do you think he will play the first game with all the voice of Mercato and so on?
I think Berardi is kind of a central place, like the captain for Sassuolo. So I think even it's always been thought that Berardi would go off. So I think that he has the character to play and to play well, also because he's a very intelligent player. He is not one that goes only straight with the pace. He's the one that provides assists, scores from distance. He can make a surprise, but what I think that we can go for is removing the Inter player.
Carlos Augusto. But then you need wait, first, what about Mulattieri?
I think that Sassuolo is going to change a lot for the striker. And that's the trend. Because Antiste also is a player I rate. When put in the mold, it's going to be a player that is going to make a different work for the attack Pinamonti is the kind of starter, but that doesn't score a lot. Agustin Alvarez is a very modern player that was learning the Serie A. That's not a position I would go for in the fantasy football.
Bijol? People said Bijol from Udinese.
Bijol we have in the starting.
Yeah, indeed.
I think that we can choose a Juve player instead of Carlos Augusto, one that is always starting.
Bremer. He
Yes.
scores on corner kick. He said last year, I scored 5 all competition. I want to do better. 5.6. And we have
He
3
costs
million
less,
left.
right?
5.6. Wait, what did you say?
He also costs less than Carlos Augusto, so we gained
Yes.
0.2.
Yeah.
We are on 3 now.
Yeah. Cambiaso is a defender. 4.6.
Whoa, that's cool. That's really cool.
Who do we have from Juve? Bremer and Chiesa. But Cambiaso will play really offensively, but there is a lot of competition on the left at the moment.
Yes. We don't have to focus on the short term because maybe Cambiaso is cool for Chiesa, but then we are going to change the system.
Yeah.
Maybe we can play if really Berardi arrives. I don't know. We can go for the from free, and then we can see an attack that changes a lot. So I reckon that maybe if we want to invest more in the midfield, like tank a lot, if we want to keep Rafinha is cool.
Yeah.
But if we want to get someone really big like Akvara also in midfield, then we can opt for Bremer instead of Cambiaso.
See.
Cambiaso instead of Bremer, sorry.
I just answered the question to Ximi. Ximi, now we don't do the team that we will play on for the first day, because now we select 15 players in total. We don't pay attention to starters or not. From the moment that we validate our team, that we have selected our transfers, then we will go here up team and we will go with next round, and that's where we will put our team. We can put a 3-5-2, a 3-4-3, whatever we want to. We will do that with Antonio and our first team, and then Bremer we can put him as a starter and so on. So at the moment, don't pay attention to it. That's in a second phase.
But also it's a good reasoning from the chat, because now we have to think if we want to use 3 or 4 defenders in general formations. I think that a cool defense with 3 defenders could make us invest more in the attack and midfield. So it's very interesting to note.
But no, we can't, Antonio, because you're obliged to take 5 defenders.
No, but I was thinking about the budget.
Cheaper players,
Cheaper
because you
defenders?
go with 3. Yeah. Look, my only, the big bet here is Rafinha. That's the bet. The other ones are players that are quite security. Yeah, Rahmani is a good player as well. Posh, for example, Posh is the player that probably you put on the bench for the first game.
Yeah, maybe for the first game, yes. Theo, you always start. Theo is going to be your main character.
Yeah.
So
with Bremer,
Theo is must. Theo Bremer.
Scalvini, but how many goals did he score last season, Scalvini?
He only scored 2 goals. Not a lot.
It's a good player, but for indeed, the first thing that Antonio said when we were working on the defense was, for defenders, if you really have to, don't go and take defenders because they are really good at defending. Take them because they are good in doing an assist, scoring goals, because they will bring me a lot of points. Assist, I don't believe a lot. Let me check last season how much he did. I will try to check here. Stats last season, 22-23. In Serie A, 1. And Coppa Italia, but doesn't count. This is only Serie A, ragazzi. 1 assist in Serie A, 1 assist in Coppa Italia last season. So So Scalvini, I would not invest in him. And I believe he will cost you how much?
Let's see.
4.8. It's
How much
okay,
is
but
Bakker?
5.
Okay. If I had to choose between the two, I would go for Bakker because he plays
Yeah,
higher on the
higher.
pitch. But I
Indeed.
didn't like Atalanta against Juventus. What do you think?
I have put them quite high in my ranking this season. I will not reveal because I made a video this morning,
Yes.
but top 4. I put them in top 4 because I really believe in them. But I didn't like them neither. But I believe that they will be able to find the formula, and from the 5th match day, I believe they will start to run.
My bet, Giuseppe, we know it's a sure transfer. I know who are you thinking? The former Belgian, which could
Charles.
be Charles de Ketelaere instead of Rafinha. That's a huge name.
Yeah, I believe. Oh, I
He's
always
still in
said it
Milan.
here.
I saw.
I believe that Charles can be one of the revelation. I think he will do well. Where wait, midfield, Charles 5.6.
It's a bit high. Finance is crying right now.
No, we have still 3, so we can. But
Okay.
the problem is, will he play for Atalanta or for Milan this weekend? Because if it's at Milan, he doesn't play. If he goes to Atalanta, I'm not sure he will play as a starter immediately. He will need a bit of time. So it's a player that you have to consider, but pay attention. Indeed, I agree. The Ketelaere can be one of the, I believe, for him, a surprise. Singo, who is to Monaco, already gone, 10 million euro.
Yes. It's going
Do we
down.
validate this one, Antonio?
I think that we can improve one position and then we are cool.
The midfield or the
Yes.
defense? The
I think the midfield. Because
you don't want Rafinha. You see, I will sell Rafinha and then he will score a tripletta. No, he's spilling at Lazio. Okay.
it's not Rafinha. I think I would make an upgrade on Chukwueze. If you like him, I don't know.
No, it was my my feeling. It was my, but we can. Okay, I sell him 7. We have 10. A player of 10 million in the midfield.
Who is 10 in midfield? Maybe you can
You can also filter, ragazzi. That's make it also easier. So from I know. Let's go with from 9 to 10. Yeah, it's 11.
What? Hear me? If we put Leao here,
This
Berardi is also good. But if we put Leao and then we go for Cambiasso instead of Bremer, what do you think?
It's a good idea. You see? I like that. Leao here. We take Bremer away. Cambiasi was at the J Medical this morning. That's the problem.
That's bad. But how much we have left for a defender?
4.6.
Okay, can we make the filter? So we see if we have one.
Wait, no, we have to go to defender. Okay. Defender, 4.6, 4.6, 4.6. Here we had 4.7. Yeah, Cambiaso, 4.6.
Cambiaso was perfect, but I think that he only had a wrist problem.
Maybe.
Yes. If you have more news. But
no, I think it was also the hand. Oh, look at that. Budget 0. Mulattieri, indeed, Mario. Mulattieri was a name I wrote down. I really wanted him, but Antonio, he convinced me, and exactly, there will be a lot of rotation up front in Sassuolo, and you never know which one will play. I agree with him. Oh, it's not a bad one. If you have Theo Hernandez and Leao from Milan, Osimhen, Retegui with Nzola as a trio attack. The surprise, Rafinha, You have a Zaccagni that did really well last season, fantastically well. Federico Chiesa. And then your defense, you can play with Hernandez, Rahmani. You have Cambiaso. You have Bijol. And Provedel, Carnesec. I think that we have... and Cope Manners in the midfield. Don't forget. You have a top
Minus is
team.
crucial. It's
Mamma
crucial.
mia. You have a
Beautiful
top
team.
team. Top team.
Beautiful.
This is a top. This is the best. I promise you, the best team I had in the beginning. Since I started. No, it's a really great team. Oh, I validate this one. If you have something to say, Antonio, it's now or never.
I think it's now is good.
So I confirm. Let's see. I made a test. I said Osimhen, Hernandez. We have both of them. Dragozin out. Di Marco out. Cope Manners is there. Chukwueze out. Quadrado out. Wea out. Ochoa out. Gatti out. Bulaidia out. That's
I love
we changed
but
90%.
it's too expensive. I love Diado.
You cannot add more than 2 football players for the same team. We made a mistake.
Which team? Which team we did?
Lazio.
Oh.
We have Provedel, Zaccagni. Ah, no.
No, it's not Lazio. What is it?
Wait. Huh?
Something is not correct.
Wait. We have Osimhen, Rahmani from Napoli, 2. Retegui, Genoa. Wait, Napoli, Genoa, Milan, Lecce, Lazio, Juve, Udinese, Napoli, Milan, Atalanta. Maybe Atalanta. Atalanta, and
We have only these two.
Fiorentina. Should be okay, no?
I think it is.
Scroll down. You cannot add more than 2 football players, but there are only 2.
There must be a bug, I think.
No, wait. Confirm transfers. Okay, confirm. Can you see it, guys?
What I think it could be is maybe the first team you created didn't allow to swap some players, but I don't think.
No, because you can do free transfer how much you want. We are in budget. Oh. Good to go back. Ciao, Bianconeri. I don't see the mistake. Confirm transfer. You know what? Let me take a picture.
Let's try to refresh, maybe.
Yeah. I save it because that's a really great team. Let me save it here. Okay. I will refresh the page.
Okay. I see.
Let me take them out. All of them. Maybe, in going faster. They are all gone, right? And we go. So the first, wait, let me open it again, the image. So we had Carnesecchi from Atalanta, Carnesecchi, and we had from Lazio, Provedel, right?
Yes.
Provedel. Then we had defenders, Cambiaso, Juve, Cambiaso, and we had midfielder, Chiesa. We had from Bologna, Bosch.
Yes.
That's it. From Cagliari, nobody. Empoli, nobody. Fiorentina, we had Zola as a striker. right? Frosinone, nobody. Genoa, Retegui. Then we had Inter, nobody. Juve, we already chose them. Lazio, we already chose them. Lecce, Raffia, we said. Yeah.
Yes.
Where is he? Up. Milan, we went for Leao at the end. Where is Leao? Leao and Teo Hernandez. Udinese. I know, but that, wait. Monza, nobody. Napoli, Osimhen and Rahmani, defender. Yeah. Roma, nobody. Salernitana, nobody. Sassuolo, nobody. Udinese, defender, Bijol. Here. Who do we miss? Zaccagni from Lazio.
And Coop Miners.
And Cope Miners. Yeah. Atalanta, we didn't choose yet, huh?
No.
So,
no one.
Midfield, Cope Miners and Zaccagni from Lazio. It's not working.
I don't
You
see
cannot add more than 2 football players from the same football club to your team. But which one is it? Let me. It's impossible. Are we blind? Wait, huh? Lazio 1, 2, Provedel, Zaccagni. I will check like this. No, it's not Lazio. Udinese, just 1. Napoli, 1, 2. 2.
They said it's because of Provedel. I don't know why.
It's Provedel. Why, ragazzo? But why? Why is it Provedel? Because we have Provedel from Lazio, we have Zaccagni from Lazio,
And that's it.
And that's it.
Oh, in the chat they say press reset team and build it again.
Yeah, but I did. Wait. Okay. Okay. I know it's Provedel here because he was already in my team, Provedel. Probably that's the glitch, you know? I'm transferring Provedel for Provedel. Wait, Ochoa, we don't want him. Gatti neither. El Shaarawy, like this. Probably it will work like that. The guys. Antonio, I know that you were short in time. If you have to leave, tell me. Huh?
No, for now it's fine. No problem.
Okay. These are the players that from the original team that are in the new team, right? We try again. Goalkeeper. We said Carnesecchi from Atalanta. Defender. Juve. Defenders. Cambiaso. Napoli. Rahmani. Sorry, guys. Bijol from Udinese.
And Posh.
And Bologna. Posh. Hopefully it will work now. Huh? Bologna. Posh. Okay. Midfielders. Cope Manners is already done. Then we had from Lecce. Okay. Lazio. Zaccagni. Where is he? Yes. Chiesa. And the other one was Leao.
Leo, yes, in the midfield.
Yeah.
Attack Retegui and Zola.
Yeah. Where is Leao? Okay. And then Genoa. Retegui. And then Fiorentina. Zola. Confirm
Yes.
transfers. Yes.
And that's good.
Okay. So, ragazzi, that's important. If you are changing your team, the bug that we had now, the glitch is that you can't, of course, change Provedel if you already had Provedel. So, if you are making changes in your team before the start of Serie A, pay attention that you don't change the one that you want. Okay. Okay. This one, we have the best team on earth. Next round, you go. If you want to put your team, next round. Now we have to make our team with a captain and a vice captain. Which formation? You can go with a formation.
I think that one of the biggest formation for fantasy play is 3-4-3.
Indeed.
I see you have the finger pointed, so it's that.
Indeed.
I think we have to put the monster inside, Rafael.
Indeed. Leao. Raga, also for the people in chat that do not know, it doesn't make any difference. Midfield is midfield. It's not, you don't have to go with mezzala, regista. Midfield is midfield. That's important. Look always to the team that they are playing against. Look if they are injured, suspended. Here you have a healthy team that should be able to play. Leao against Bologna, Koopman against Sassuolo, Zaccagni against Lecce, Chiesa, Udinese. Up on top, you have your three strikers with Genoa, Frosinone, and Fiorentina. And then in defense, Hernandez, Cambiaso, Rahmani. You can possibly have Posh against Milan, that's a tough one. Bijol against Juve or Raffia. And the goalkeeper, Provedel against Lecce or Carnesecchi against Sassuolo. I believe the team is done. That's the team that you need to have. Am I wrong, Antonio?
It's fantastic. I think that you cannot get better than that. If you do the real fantasy fantacalcio in Italy, you cannot get this team because it would be triple the money you have available. So that speaks for this team. I want to make a suggestion. If you want to bet on another player, I think also from Genoa is Gudmundsson. So
Yeah.
he's going to play up front with Retegui, but this is a team where you have less players this game. So if you're not up for Retegui, look for Gudmundsson in midfield.
Let me check how much he cost. Transfers. So midfield
from Genoa. It's GUD. Okay.
It cost 5.4 in the midfield. 5.4 instead of.
No, it's not going to be fitable in our squad. I don't think there is a way.
No. Look.
But look for it.
Don't forget to put your captain. Captain is double the points. Vice captain, if your captain is not playing, it's the vice captain that is taking actually the double the point. That's super important. Don't forget captain and vice captain. Then also you have an order of the people that can, if there is, for example, a player that is not playing, they will go with an order. So the number one is the first one that is on the bench that can receive points if someone is not playing in his position. Then you have the second one, and then you have the third one. Also there, it's important because you have an order, and people sometimes they don't pay attention to it. Mario is asking, where can you do the real Italian Fantacalcio?
There is plenty of apps. I think the most popular, but I don't know if they have an English translation of the menu. So that's a huge problem. They also have a mode where you can play with European footballers, but it's problematic. I think you have to play with an Italian player
Yeah.
that also manages everything, and then you can have fun. But this is a very, very cool app, and I advise you because the roles are more creative than standard Fantacalcio.
And you like I convince you will participate in our league, Antonio?
I don't know because I have a damned schedule in these days, but I might consider it on the long run. So
Eh,
maybe it's going to be an option because I like seeing players that can play on the flanks, like Leao, Chiesa, playing in midfield. Because in Fantacalcio, these are strikers for
eh.
them, and it's
Raf-
different.
Raffaello is asking Beppe or Antonio, what happens if Berardi joins? So that's a good one because you have maximum two players. If he joins, he will be in Juve. So you will have at a certain moment to do the change. Not immediately, but at a certain moment when you do your transfer, they will ask you to do the change. Otherwise, you can't do transfer anymore. So from the moment that you will have actually, for example, three players of Juve. But when you want to do a transfer, then you will be obliged to first sell a Juve player instead of the rest. Oh, ragazzi, I show you again the team because we are in closure. I show you the team again, thanks to Antonio. It's super easy. Again, the link, if you want to participate, it's totally for free, is into the description. You go, there is the link, you click, and then you make your team as we did now. And there you will go to leagues here. You see leagues, join a league, where you click join a league and you put the code. The code is also in the description. And then you join the Just Fantasy League. We are already with 223 members. I'm expecting much more. We start immediately at the first day of Serie A. If you can join later, but then you lose some points of the first day, of course. We have some beautiful names of teams. Stocazzo. We have Jimmy Core. You can put the team that you want to. But at the moment, I can't see the teams because everyone is a secret. The only thing that you can see is the one that I created with Antonio because we did it live. So I repeat, two goalkeepers, five defenders, five midfielders, and three strikers. We went for Carnesecchi Provedel. I believe you have teams, good goalkeepers, and team, for example, Lazio that is not conceding a lot. Grande.
He's the
uh,
big guy.
uh, then you have in defense Hernandez, Rahmani, Cambiaso, especially Cambiaso that is playing super high, can give a lot of assist. And in a team that is normally not conceding a lot as Juve for a cheap price is the deal. I believe it's the deal. Oh, Antonio, which is for you in the team that we made the surprise, the good deal, and maybe the risky one? That's a good question.
I think the surprise should be Matteo Retegui.
Yeah.
He has to be. He's got to be. The risk, of course, is Hamza Rafia. I have to tell you because Lecce has a powerful forward that also scores penalty kicks, which is Gabriele Strefezza.
Last
So
year brought me a lot of points, Trefezza.
Strefezza was a very nice shout if you had him in the Baroni Lecce.
Yeah.
And what's the third one? I don't remember.
I don't remember neither. I said the surprise. Maybe the flop. You said that Rafia. Wait, Rafia.
The
Uh,
risk.
the
Rafa is the
risk.
risk.
My
Rafa is
risk
the
is
risk.
Osimhen in the beginning of the season.
You
I
think?
don't because he had that problem of the ankle. I'm not. Is he doing better or not?
He's doing pretty good.
Okay.
I
Then
think
it's not.
Osimhen cannot be a risk.
Then
I
it's not.
think I think Nzola might be a flop. We don't know.
Yeah.
Nzola was maybe selected prematurely, but Italiano knows him. Italiano knows how to motivate one of the biggest strikers of the little teams in Serie A that
It's true.
make the big step in the top seven. So take an eye to Balanzola, Rafia, and the other guy we mentioned if you want to make your fantasy team, because it's not going to be one of the certainties.
What is the following parts of this? So on YouTube, I launched it now for the 3 next match days. I will be on Twitch, so on the purple platform, because here we did it for the bigger audience on YouTube. But from now on, I will be on Twitch for 3 match days. So put the notification ring on there, because I will do the follow-up. A follow-up of how was the Serie A match day, how many points do I have. If you're participating, join us so that you can tell us which player that you had and so on. We can then check your team, because that's the beautiful thing, where I can go and look, and then we can speak about the possible transfer that we can do potentially. Maybe if Antonio has time, he joins. Maybe not. That's something that we will see in the future. I hope you really enjoyed. I see a Gabby, member of the channel. Grazie, Gabby. Really appreciate it, my friend. I hope you enjoyed, ragazzi. I don't know, Antonio, did you have fun?
It was pretty funny, because I think that the numerical part would be difficult with this system, but we collaborated pretty well. We could be a good 2-player side. In Fantacalcio, sometimes you have to play 8 to 10 squads, so sometimes you join forces because you can divide the subscription. So we could be a good team,
Yeah, I like that. Thank you. I had a lot of fun as well. Grazie, Antonio. If you want to, ragazzi, great takes from Antonio that is called Laudantes on Twitter. I will show you also the page so that you can go and watch him and follow him. It's the guy with a picture of Edin Dzeko when he was at Wolfsburg. And we didn't choose any Inter player. Huh? That's also a good one. I like that. So go Laudantes. I will put also in the comments so that you can go and follow him, because he has always great takes about a lot of players. So go, it's really nice. Last year I won a lot of points thanks to him with the revelation Farah before everyone knew him, and I believe also Strefezza, because when you said Strefezza, I think that I stole that name from also your tips. So follow him, ragazzi.
He's very cool. Thank you, Giuseppe.
Thank you to Esuch. Thank you to Thomas, Lester, to Paolo, to Just A Yokai, to Raffaello, to Mark 1, to Mario, to Steve, to everyone in the chat. Grazie. Forza
Juventus.
Ciao,